Hello everyone, we are back again with our latest video on SQL tutorial Abikacho by Abikacho Group, and this is the part 2 of Master SQL Server Interview question series. And as we have discussed in this particular series, we are going to upload daily interview questions that are mostly asked in the interviews for data profiles like SQL Server Developer, Database Engineer, Database Developer, Data Scientist, etc. Now move on and check first question of today's video. Okay. So we have the first question. So basically in this particular video we are going to resolve some of the questions based on employee detail table. So first move on to SSMS and check what the employee detail table structure is. Okay, so here we have already created the employee detail table. Now select 1000 rows. So here as you can see we have the employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, employee mail ID, employee salary, joining date, and department ID. Department means department column, and the gender column. So now move on to the question list and resolve each of the question one by one with the most efficient technique. Okay, so first question is write a query to get all employee details from employee table. So this is a very basic question, and this particular we will copy this question and go to SSMS and resolve this. Okay, now paste this. So write a query to get all employee detail from employees table. Okay, so this is very simple question. So just we need to answer like select star from the employees table, employee detail table. Okay, and this will provide us the detail of all employees. So this is clear to everyone. This is a simple question. Okay, basically these are asked by the beginners to check their basic knowledge about how they are using the select query and all. Now move on to the next question. So next question what we have, write a query to get only first name column from employee detail table. Okay, so basically in this particular question we need to extract only the first name column. Okay, employee first name column. So move on to SSMS and check here, paste the question first name column from the employee detail table. Okay, so in employee detail table we have the first name, employee first name. Now how to write the final query for this? So select first name, select first, write the table name so that the intelligence will fetch the name of the column and it will be easy for us to resolve this. So from employee detail, then select the first name column, employee first name. The intelligence is providing the name. Now this is your final query for this particular question. Execute this and we can see all the first name are visible to us. Now move on to the next question. So these are basically the basic questions that the interviewer will ask you at the stage of means basic level stage, 0 to 1 year of experience if you have, or around 1.5 year of experience you have. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, write a query to get first name in uppercase as first name. Okay, so basically we need to convert the first name column in uppercase. Now paste this question on SSMS and check the solution for this. So how we are getting the first name? So see, there are camel case letters. Now we need to convert them into uppercase, all the letters. Okay, now comment this out and then write the query for this. So simple query, select from employee detail table. Okay, and then do first name first, select the first name, employee first name, and make it upper so that it will capitalize the first name. So basically upper is a function that is used to capitalize the uh, characters of the row. All the character will be capitalized by using the upper function. Okay, so this is a inbuilt function and we have already discussed the SQL Server inbuilt function in our videos, so you can go and check each of them one by one. Okay, so select upper and then the employee first name from employee detail table, and this is your final query. Now execute this and check the record of this. Okay, so as we can see all the records has been converted to uppercase, means capitalized. Okay, so we can write the alias name as capital first name. So this is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. Okay, so capital first name, all letters are in capital form. So now next what we have, next we have write a query to get the first name in lowercase as first name. Okay, so all digits now we want in lowercase. So basically for this also we have an inbuilt function which is lower. Okay, so you can practice the functions all kind of functions like string function, mathematical function and all in our videos that we have already posted, and the link for that you will also get in our description. Now paste this question. So what we need to do here, write a query to get first name in lowercase as first name. Okay, so how we will convert, we will use the lower function for this. Okay, so just a simple query for this also. Select from employee detail table. Okay, so we are mentioning the table name first, as we need the intelligence to provide us the column name so that we will not make any typo mistake. Okay, now first name, employee first name, you can see here it has provided the column name, and then convert it to lower, use the lower function here. So lower, and then here we will get all our digits converted into lowercase, as you can see here. So John, Jane, Michael, Emily, all are converted to lowercase. Okay, so this is also clear. These are very basic questions. Now move on to the next one. So next what we have, write a query for combining first name and last name and display it as name. Okay, full name we need to display, and also include white space between first name and last name. So basically we need to concat first name and last name, and also provide concat one space between them. So how we will do this? So this is also a basic question but very important, means these kind of questions will generally asked by the interviewers in the interview. Okay, so press enter so that all the question will be visible to us. Now comment this out. So write a query for combining first name and last name and display it as name, also include white space between first name and last name. So how we will do this? So basically for concatenating in SQL Server we can use the plus sign itself. We don't need to use any means inbuilt function or all, because plus will work as that same. So we will check here now. So select from employee detail. Okay, now employee first name, emp first name, and then concat it with employee last name, emp last name. Okay, from employee detail, execute this. So he see here we don't have any space currently, but we need to add the space also. So how we will do this? So after employee first name plus with, in quotation, a space. Okay, control Z, provide a space, and then again concat it with last name, as give alias as full name, employee full name, emp full name. Okay, so this is clear. Now execute this name. Okay, execute this, and this is our final query. So here we are getting the employee full name, first name space the second last name. Okay, now move on to the next question. Okay, press Ctrl R to remove the result set and comment this out first. Then we will move for the sixth question. Now sixth question from this particular set. So what we have, select employee detail whose name is Vikas. Okay, so basically it is asking to filter out a specific name from the employee detail table. Okay, now move on and check this, paste this question. So select employee detail whose name is Vikas. Okay, so how we will do this? So we will use the where clause. Select star from employee detail, select star from employee detail where emp first name equals to Vikas, Vikas, Vikas. Okay, execute this and check the result. So this is our final query for this. So Vikas name is not existing in our table, so we can check like Vikash. Okay, so Vikash, the name is little bit different. Okay, so Vikas name is available here. So this is the final query. We can use the where clause here. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, do it here also sh, so that it will be visible to you. Now next we have the seventh question. So get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name start with letter A. Okay, so as you know SQL is a case insensitive, so it means this particular A, capital A, is similar to small a. Okay, So anyone we can use, because SQL Server is case insensitive. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to find out the details of first name which have the letter A, which is starting with the letter A. Now we can use the wildcard here. So how we will write the query? Select star from employee detail where name like, so like operator is the wildcard operator. Now here we will provide the name start with A, so A and then modulus. Okay, and what if we need to provide name end with A, then we need to provide the modulus sign before A. So anything, what is the meaning of this? So anything after A must be at the first, and anything come after A. Okay, and when we provide the modulus sign before, then it means that anything before A and A will be at the end. Okay, so this is clear. Now here we need to mention the employee first name, as we are finding for the first name, emp first name. Okay, now this is the final query for this question. Now execute this and check the result set. So here we are getting all the employee names which are starting with A as the prefix. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so eighth question. Eighth question is get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name contains K. Okay, first name contains K. So similarly, no, here we need to check if K is existing in the name or not. So how we will do this? So same like operator we will use, but the wildcards will come little bit different. Okay, so check how we are doing this. Now we need to check if K is existing in the first name or not. So how we will do this? So this also has a simple query. Select star from employee detail where employee first name emp first name like. So here we need to provide the wildcard modulus sign both at the beginning and the at the end. So what it will search? It will search the existence of K in any digit. Okay, so anything or nothing will be at the beginning of K, or anything or nothing will be at the end of K. Means K, it will search if that is existing in the name, then it will provide us the result. So both side modulus you need to add for this if you are searching for a particular character available in that particular column or not. Okay, so this is clear. Now this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. Execute this and check the result. So here you can see the names which contain K. So Kimberly, Vikas also containing K, Nikita also containing K, and Nikhil also containing K. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So after 8th question we have the 9th one. What it is telling? So get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name end with H. So end with H. Now we have already discussed how to resolve end with H. We need to provide the modulus sign or the wildcard entry at the end. Okay, so like operator similarly here we will also use. So basically there are most of questions asked for like operator, because wildcard is a very good concept to ask in interviews. Okay, and also while you are going to work in your organization, so these kind of things you will find out. So how we will do this? Select star from employee detail. Now here we want to we need the first name that are ending with H. So where employee first name like, so ending we need to provide the modulus sign at the beginning. So modulus and then H, means anything before H can be possible, but H must be the last digit. Okay, means ending with H. Now execute this and check our result. So here we, as you can see, we have the result like Sarah is ending with H, Vikas is ending with H, Ashish is ending with H, and Anish is ending with H. Okay, so this particular question is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the 10th question. So get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name start with any single character between A to P. Okay, so basically this is also very important question, and here also we are going to use the like operator but in a different manner. Okay, so basically here what we need to find out, we need to find out all the first name that are starting, that the first character will be starting with any of the character between A to P. Okay, so how we will do this? So we will use the wildcard character with big bracket. Okay, now I will write the query, you will check. So select star from employee detail where first name, employee first name like, and then here it will come like in the bracket you need to mention, in the big bracket you need to mention A to P. So basically this particular wildcard character and then modulus will come after that. So after in while bracketing this, so you are telling like from A to P any character at the beginning and anything after that. Okay, so it is defining like the first name is starting with any character between A to P. Now execute this. So if we execute this, this is the final query that you need to mention to the interviewer. So 31 records we are getting, and all the records first name will be between A to P. Okay, so this is clear. Now total how many record we have? So how many record we have in total? So select star from employees detail table. So this will make it more clear. So total we have around 36 record, in which 31 are first name between A to P. Okay, this is clear to everyone. 31 rows where the first name is starting with first name is starting from the character between A to P. So this is clear, and this will be your final query that you will provide to the interviewer. Now move on to the next question. So after this, what we have after this, there is a set 2. Okay, now first question of set 2 is get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name not start with any single character between A to P. Okay, now we will check the opposite. So previously we have checked all the first name starting from A to P, and here what we need to check? We need to check like whose first name not start with any character between A to P. Now how we will write this? Move on to SSMS and check the query for this. Okay, now here we need to find out the employee detail from employee detail table whose first name not start with any single character between A to P. Okay, comment this out. So the final query for this is like we will use the same wildcard character like operator with not operator. Okay, so select star from employee detail where employee first name emp first name like, and then here we will mention the A to B, A to P, A to P, and then modulus. So this is our previous query, and then not. So not in A to P. Okay, first name not starting with A to P. So A to P is at the beginning and then modulus sign at the end. Okay, and not sign will be at the beginning. It will come from the character that you are searching. Okay, so this is clear. Now this will provide us the result of those employees whose name not starting with any single character between A to P. Now execute this and get the final answer. So this will be your final query that you will write near the interviewer. So here see all the first name not starting with A to P, any character between A to P. So S is after P, W is after P, R is after P, S is after P, then B is after P. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So this 11th and 10th question are very important. So mark them as very important for your interview. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, 12th question. So get all employee detail from employee detail table whose gender end with LE and contain 4 letters. Okay, so we need to find out that the gender will be ending with the letter LE and it will contain only exactly 4 letter. So the underscore wildcard character represents any single character. So basically here we will use the wildcard character but the underscore wildcard character. So how to use this? Move on to SSMS and check the result. Okay, so basically what we need to find out, do I enter here and also here also. Okay, so we need to find out those names, those employee detail whose gender is ending with LE and contain exactly 4 letters. Okay, so basically we need the all male employee details. So this question can be asked in multiple ways. So the interviewer can ask you find the name of details of all employees whose gender is male, or either they can ask like whose gender is ending with the letter LE and contains exactly 4 letter. So how we will do this? So basically here they are they need to check what is your coding skill in SQL. Okay, so this answer will be done at select star from employee detail where gender gender like gender like and then underscore is the wildcard character that is providing only a single character. So basically le at the end and anything before that. Okay, and 4 character exactly we need. So underscore 2 character, 1 second, underscore 2 characters and then le at the end. Okay, now when you execute this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. Execute this. So here we are getting all the employees whose gender is ending with le, like male employees. Okay, so 19 rows we are getting. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So similarly, if they ask for female, then how you will do this? So copy the same query, and then in female how many characters are there? female. So 6 characters are there. So before this le you need to provide 4 underscores, 1 2 3 4, and then le are two letters. So now when you execute this, so it will provide you all the records for female employees. Okay, gender female. This is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have after this? So next question after this, 13th question, get all employee detail from employee detail table whose first name start with A and contains exactly 5 letters. Okay, so same, we will use the like operator with underscore wildcard. Okay, now paste this and check. So here we need to find out all the employees from the employee table whose first name start with A and contains 5 letters. So starting letter will be A and then we need exactly 5 letters. So after that 4 underscore. Now how to write this? So select star from employee detail where employee first name like, and in quote you will mention A will be our first character and then 4 character extra we need because total 5 character it need. Okay, so A 1 2 3 4, so 5 character. Okay, execute this. This will be the final query that you will provide to the interviewer. So Anish is the name which is starting with A and exactly 5 character it is containing, ANISH 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this is clear. Now this is also very important question. You can mark this also as very important. Okay, now move on to the next question. So basically these questions are asked for those who have around 0 to 3 years of experience and intermediate level of experience they have, or intermediate hardness of this question is. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next question what we have, 14th question, get all employee detail from employee detail table whose last name contains modulus sign. Example, Vic modulus AS. Okay, so now we need to check those employees whose last name contains modulus sign in that. Okay, now here we have some records with that as we have created the table, so we know. Now comment this out and check for those employees. So checking modulus is bit different from the other wildcards that we are using currently. So select star from employee detail. So the final query will be like, and the employee last name we need to find. So emp where emp last name like, and then here you need to provide like modulus sign will be available. So how we will check the modulus sign? So for character what we are doing, we are providing modulus both side, and then in middle we will need to provide the modulus. But here it will not work because 3 modulus will provide you all the detail. Okay, but we need to check those employee only who have modulus sign containing in their last name. Okay, so for this you need to put modulus sign in big bracket. Okay, and then provide modulus before and after, and then this will be the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. Execute this. So here you can see Amy has the record where the last name is modulus sign and David has last name as modulus sign. Okay, so this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the 15th question, get all unique department from employee detail table. So this is very you can say simple question. So just we need to check the unique departments in the employee detail table. So we will use the distinct clause here. Okay, because distinct clause will provide us the unique records in that particular column. So select distinct department from employee detail table. Employee detail table. Okay, now execute this will be your final query. So this is a very basic question. Okay, so see, department, unique departments are CS, HR, IT and payroll we have in this particular employee detail table. Now this is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have? Next we have the 16th question. So get the highest salary from employee detail table. Okay, so now copy this. So we need to find out the highest salary from the employee detail table. So this is very important question for those who are like beginners or around 0 to 3 years of experience. Okay, so basically we need to find out the highest salary, so max salary. Okay, so how we will do this? So we can use the max function. So select max salary from employee detail table. Okay, now execute this will provide us the highest salary from the employee detail table. So salary column, I think the name is different, so we can check what we have. So EMP salary we have the name. Okay, copy the name of the column, now paste this. So now execute. So here you will get the maximum salary. Okay, so highest salary. Now the question will become more tough when they ask like higher salary of which employee. Okay, so salary, maximum salary also you need to provide, and the employee name also you need to provide, like which employee has the highest salary. So how you will do this? Highest salary. Okay, so for this we need to use the group by clause also. So how you will do this? So you need to mention like select first name. We will write a separate query for this. Okay, so both will not merge in this. So here we need to provide the employee name who has the highest salary in the company. So employee name EMP, employee first name comma maximum salary as the highest salary from employee detail. And then as we have discussed, those functions which are not in aggregate, they need to be mentioned in the group by clause. OUP, group by employee first name. And then here we need to apply top one record. Okay, top one record we want. And then you need to apply like order by max employee salary descending. Then you will get the employee having maximum salary as descending. Now execute this. So here we get the employee Matthew who has the highest salary, 14,000. Okay, means 1,40,000. Okay, execute both of them simultaneously. What we are getting, so highest salary is 1,40,000 and Matthew is the employee who has the highest salary. So this is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. So all the aspects we will check in these videos, because we will make you interview ready from our this master SQL Server interview question series. Basically the first video is already on the channel, you can go and check, and each day we are going to provide one video, so that you will, one or two video also we can upload, so that we will cover each and every question that can be asked in the interviews. Okay, so go with us so that you will be also in line with us and be prepared very soon for the interviews. Okay, now the next question we have is the 17th question. So get the lowest salary from the employee table. So basically this is also so very normal. So here we have find out the highest salary. Now we need to find out the lowest salary. So there we have applied the maximum. Now here we need to apply the minimum function. Okay, now move on to the next, move on to the execution of this particular question. So select. Okay, so select mean salary employee salary, sorry, EMP salary as lowest salary from employee detail table. EMP detail, employee detail table. Now execute this. This is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. So lowest salary is 15,000. Now which employee has the lowest salary? So similarly as above, we can apply here also. Select emp first name. First we will mention the table name so that intelligence will provide us the column names from emp detail table, and then we will mention here the emp first name comma the minimum salary. We will copy from here, minimum salary as lowest salary, and then we need to group our record by employee first name, and then in this case we are finding the minimum salary, so we need to order our record by descending order of employee salary. Okay, minimum employee salary, order by minimum employee salary ascending, ASC. Okay, so ASC is not required to mention because by default means the order of the table is in ascending order, but you can also explicitly provide the value. Okay, this is clear. Now execute this. And if in your system the intelligence is not working, so how you will open the intelligence? You can go and check a video that we have loaded on our channel, which is based on the functionality of the Microsoft SQL Server, so that you can also check and verify how to open the intelligence, and how to means some of the basic functionalities we have also mentioned there. So there you can go and check our video for that. Now execute both of them simultaneously and check our record. So you can see lowest salary is this, and then so top one we have not mentioned, that's why we need to mention the top one, otherwise it will provide all the records. Okay, so top one if we mention, then only single record we will get, top one. Okay, now execute this both of them. So see, Jessica is the employee who has the lowest salary, which is 15,000, and lowest salary is 15,000. Okay, so this is also clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so joining date in DDMMMYY format. Example 15th Feb 2013. Okay, so basically we need to change the format of the joining date column so that we will achieve this particular joining date. Okay, so now copy and paste this. So this is also very important question in perspective of date and time function and how to format the date and time. So mark this question also as very important because these are frequently asked questions. So first check how the date is coming currently. So select start from employee detail table. So currently how the joining date is coming, so joining date is coming in this particular format. Now we need to change in this format. Okay, so how we will do this, we will use the format function. Okay, so select format is a inbuilt function, so these also we have discussed in our functions video, you can go and check. So format, and then joining date column from employee detail. Now we will paste from here. Okay, as formatted DOJ, date of joining, formatted DOJ, date of joining. So how we need to format requires two arguments. See, the intelligence is providing the format function required two to three argument. So basically minimum 2 or 3 argument we need to provide. So we need to provide the format in which we want the record to come. Okay, so which format we want? We want the format of DD, and then DD MMM, and then YYY. Okay, joining date format, joining date, what is invalid column name, joining date formatted DOJ. Okay, now this is clear. Now execute this. This is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for formatting this. Now execute this, then we will get the record. So see, 15 July 2021 we are getting in the same format. Okay, and for space what you need to provide? For space you need to provide a space between these DDMMYY, and then when you execute, so we will get the space here also. So 15 July 2021 and the similar format that we required. Okay, so this is clear to everyone. Now move on to the next question. So next question what we have, next we have, so joining date in YYY slash MMM slash DDD slash DD YYMMDD format. Example 2013-02 is the month and then 15 date. Okay, now how we will achieve this? So this also we can achieve from the format function. So mark this particular question also as important. Okay, now paste this question. Now we will format our date of joining in this particular order. So write the query for this. So what will be the final query? So select date of joining. Select, first we write the table name so that intelligence will work for us. Select from employee detail table and then joining date, and then we need to format the joining date. So we use the format function, format, and then in which format we want? In the format of YYYY slash mm. So mm must come in caps and then comma, then slash dd. Okay, now we need to close in parenthesis as doj, formatted doj. We will copy from here, formatted doj. Okay, now execute this. So we achieve the required format. Okay, so if you means cover all these questions on daily basis, then I guess in 1 month you will be ready for getting your favorable job, and you can achieve around 15 to 16 lakh LPA very easily. Okay, so be with us and regularly practice all the questions so that in interview you will give the answers very quickly to the interviewer. Now move on to the last question of today's video. So show only time part of the joining date. So this is also very important question. So we need to provide only the time part of the joining date. Now move on to SSMS and then check how to do this. So we just need to provide the time part of the joining date column. So first check the joining date column from our table. So select from employee detail table, what we need to find? We need to find the joining date, from employee detail table. Execute this first so that we will check the format what it is. So it is coming in date and then time, so we need only the time part. Like for this, if we take the example, we just need to extract this time part. Okay, so how we will do this? So we will use the cast function here. Okay, so what we will do, cast this column as, so cast joining date as time. Okay, so we will change the data type to time, then we will achieve this particular format as doj time. Okay, so this is clear to everyone. Now this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer. Execute this and we will get the time part. Okay, so here we can keep the joining date also so that we can differentiate between both of them. Now execute this now. So this is the joining date and this is the time part from that particular date. Okay, so this is clear to everyone, and thank you very much for watching, and keep watching. And if you need the table script and datas in the table, then you can go to our Telegram channel. From here you can also scan the channel, or you can also find the link on the description as well as on our channel description. Okay, and thank you for watching. Do like, share and subscribe, and comment us if you need our help in any aspect in your company's work. Also we will help you. Okay, and many more videos are going to come, and be regular with the interview sets so that you will practice daily and become very efficient in SQL servers. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone.